Episode 4 of The Last of Us on HBO happened tonight, and I gotta say, great episode. I really enjoyed it. It was slow, it was simple, but it was really good character development and continued to build the bond between Joel and Ellie. And I really did enjoy the scenery. Aesthetically, I thought it worked really good. But what I was thinking the whole time is that, why didn't we get this last week? What actually happened last week? Because you had a good first episode, you had a good second episode, and you had a good fourth episode. But what happened in episode 3? What happened in episode 3 was, well, I'd say in some ways was a good episode in isolation, but it had nothing to do with the bigger story at hand. But they wanted to do it. Why? Because they had their agenda to push. And you even had the director saying he wanted to trick the audiences into watching it. Why do you want to trick your audiences into watching it? Because it's agenda driven. It doesn't mean the episode was bad in isolation. It means that the episode was pointless for the overall point of the season and the series. Now, also episode 3 deviated big time from the games, which again isn't inherently a problem. It's really never inherently a problem when you deviate, because you have to deviate in some ways. This episode, episode 4, it did a lot of mirroring the game in a lot of ways. You know, there was some changes, of course, and again, these are necessary. You have to make some changes along the way, which I totally understand. This particular episode, though, Joel and Ellie, just like in the games, this was important times for them to bond. There were moments of fear. There were moments of chaos, stressful situations, and ultimately that, you know, Joel is really starting to trust Ellie, and it was really good. There was actually some still shots I'll show you. So these are just still shots of the scenery right here. These are like, all of this just continues to help build that atmosphere in the world that you're in. I really loved seeing this because this is a Love's gas station, a truck stop. You've got the RB sign right there. And I think that from an audience standpoint, you can really relate from that, because you're like, wow, that is a real world thing. And we're trying to make people understand what exactly is going on right now in this time frame. And I thought like something like that, while subtle, was very important to kind of continue to build out that world that they're trying to show us. So really cool stuff right there. There was just a lot of really cool shots. I really enjoyed a lot of this episode. Or I enjoyed all of this episode, to be honest. All of this episode worked, and it worked for many reasons. But the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, why didn't this happen last week? And moving forward, you still cannot trust anything they're doing. And I am not telling you that you should go out and watch this show. I'm also not telling you that if you're watching it, you should stop, because I never tell anyone what they can or can't do with your time or your money. I just give you my opinion, and then ultimately you, as an individual, do whatever you want with your time and your money. I'm just here to give you my feedback on it. But this was I think this was the slowest of the 4 in terms of episodes. Definitely the slowest, but I enjoyed it so much. Probably my second favorite episode of the season so far. And again, it just, the whole time though, I couldn't stop thinking, why didn't we get this in episode 3? And all this did was show you that episode 3 was nothing more than agenda driven, and it existed simply so they can call all of you names, call me names, for telling them, oh, well, this is a problem. Why are you doing this? Oh, you're a bigot. You're a bigot if you didn't like this. Like, no, seriously, what does this have to do with the overall story? Why are we moving away from Joel and Ellie? What was the point of this? What was it? And as I said when I talked about it, even if this would have been a straight couple, first of all, you're changing a major aspect, or you're changing an aspect in a major way of the game. Why? Why did you change this? And then you look at everything else in the game that they're following, and it just doesn't make sense at all. So all episode 4 ultimately did is it did 2 things. I really enjoyed it. It helped the character development. That's fine. So overall, I really enjoyed it, but it also frustrated me even more with episode 3, because what it does is shows you that episode 3 was completely pointless. Now, with them moving right in line with the games for the most part, down to dialogue, and again, kudos to them for that. I'm really excited as we move into season 2, and we're going to get Big Abby Pump is your hookup. Holler if you hear me. We're going to get, hopefully, Scott Steiner cast as Big Abby Pump. I would love to see that. I hope that happens. But yeah, so really good episode. Did a great job. 3 of the 4 episodes have been really, really good for the overall story. Episode 3, while isolated, I thought it was a fine episode, was pointless to the overall story, which, if you're looking at it, you remember that episode, what was that? I want to say it was like episode 7 of Stranger Things. Was it season 2? I think it was season 2 of it was episode 7, and there was this one weird episode that had no connection whatsoever to the season, and it was random and it was weird. And if you didn't play the games, then when you get introduced to Bill and Frank, then you're not going to have anything to understand what this is about. So that's kind of how that episode of Stranger Things was, where it was just random and out of nowhere, and it made no sense, and it wasted everyone's time, and it was very confusing. In a lot of ways, that's what episode 3 was, where it just moved us so far away from what we're invested in this series. So after watching this, all I could do was say, yep, that just confirms it. Episode 3 was completely pointless. Thank you for doing that. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. We appreciate all of your support here at Geeks and Gamers. Hope you're enjoying the content, not only here, but on all of our other channels. And looking forward to some games. Hogwarts Legacy is coming out very soon. Mario Kart on Monday night. Exciting times. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.